Good afternoon, my darlings. So we are going to cover this full blood red worm moon happening tomorrow in Leo, opposite the sun in Aquarius. Tomorrow is the 3rd of March, which is your 33 vertebrae. So the last time I came to see you was for the new moon in Aquarius, and we had the floods, and we had in France the floods Nile. It was the Nile showing you, and I showed you that the floods were coming from 33 Bordeaux, because we are at the 33 Masonry, we are at the Phoenix, we are at the whale's tail, the wings of Lucifer. So we have a lot to cover, but here you can see why we have the red moon tomorrow, which is very much something that I'm going to be showing you about Lucifer's sigil as well. And also look at where this full lunar eclipse it's going to be. It's right on the Chi-Rho. This is what I've been saying. This is the Chi-Rho, Canada and Russia touching as Mercury is retrograde exactly in the Vesica Piscis. So today we're the 32 paths of wisdom, and tomorrow we are the 33 degrees, and there is Mercury in the Vesica Piscis, Venus on the whale's tail, and now we are after the Saturn and Neptune conjunction on the 20th. So all these years from 1989 we've had that build up of the applying exact conjunction, and now Saturn is moving away. So you will have felt that something is over for you. This is, you know, what have you let go of? What illusions have you let go of? Saturn is now on the way out. That was a huge build up, and it's all on the whale's tail. This is the William Telltale. This is the Apple. This is the Jim Carrey, Jesus Christ, Jacques de Compostelle. J is 10, C is 3. That is your 13th Cranial, which is the Middle. That is your red amygdala, your cosmic Virgin, and the Apple, which you see in iPet Goat with the 13 people, and the Mary Amygdala, Mary Magdalene. And now we've got I RAN, which is the B13. B is the 13. I RAN is your brain. It is the life of Brian. It is the Jesus Christ. So we're going to go through everything, but we're going to begin just by looking at this full moon. And also you can see, so we can see that we've got Leo. Mainstream astrology says the full moon is in Virgo, and you can see that Virgo and Leo are right on that merging of Canada and Russia. The tip. So this is for the equinox on the 21st. So Leo is just going to be a little bit more over here. And this is why we've got the Merlion in Singapore. This is Merlin. This is to rise the lion. So whenever we change ages, I've got another picture here for you. Here we go. I just happened to fall on this, which is perfect. So the 3 major Passovers from age to age. So when the cross of the equinoxes and solstice move around in the magic circle, the shift of the ages have 3 specific Passovers. So we are going from the mutable cross to the fixed cross. So the horizon for us right now in this passage, so here we've got from the mutable. So that was from the cardinal to the mutable, and now we're going from the mutable to the fixed. And here you can see it is right here between Pisces and Aquarius that the Vesica Piscis, and this is going to be the new horizon. This is the new spring right here between feminine mutable water and fixed air. So I've said to you, this is Lucy, Lucifer, this is lumpy skin disease, LSD, Lucy in the sky with diamonds, and we've got Mercury. So Venus is exalted in the home of Jupiter, and Jupiter is bang on top of Sirius. And that's why in the Truman Show with Jim Carrey, he gets hold of Sirius and looks up. So we've got the twins, we've got Romulus and Remus. This is Le Louvre. He was at the Caesars in Paris, Rome, and he received that award, and everyone is freaking out that it's a clone that was left-handed, was right, left-handed, is now right-handed. Well, yeah, it's a jump to the left, a jump to the right. We're moving from the left to the right, and they have to show you that the imposter has now come in. This is, you know, we are in the illusion of Neptune. We just had the Saturn and Neptune conjunction, and now Saturn is moving away. Our protection is moved away. Who do they kill in Mexico? They kill the gangster ELLE. ELLE is 37. Who've they killed? The Iranian guy. That is also a Saturn image. Saturn is moving away, and they kill Saturn because Jupiter wants to take the reign, and Jupiter's on the Lord of the Rings, on top of Sirius, on the unicorn, and on the other side we have Uranus on the, you know, this is the lion and the unicorn. So they've killed Taurus. There are no more cows in the Salon d'Agriculture because of the lumpy skin disease. They have totally taken away the cows. So there's no more mother, there's no more middle class. And what do they put in the place of the cow? They put the lion. And in the middle, you've got the lion. So let's just go back for these Mercury retrogrades to the Paris Olympics. So all this began for the Paris Olympics. And in the Paris Olympics, here's Mercury. So then Mercury came, the Paris Olympics began the end of July as Mercury was on Regulus, the feet of Jesus. Then Mercury went retrograde in Leo, what I've been saying to you. He didn't get back to Cancer, he was in Leo, fire. And now then we've had only retrogrades in water. So then Mercury goes retrograde. Where's Mercury? Here he is. He then goes Mercury for the rising of Notre Dame. He goes retrograde in Scorpio. And then he went retrograde last year in Pisces, exactly a year ago. And then, so that's Scorpio, Pisces. Then this summer in July, he went retrogrades in Cancer, right onto over the claw of the little prince. And then Mercury went retrogrades. But this time, instead of just Scorpio, Mercury went retrograde and rose the eagle, the phoenix. He goes retrogrades between Scorpio. Let's go. 25. Right. So he went retrograde from Scorpio all the way back to the snake on the pole, right to the snake on the pole, and then went forward. So that's, we have the merging. This is very important because everything is about Scorpio. Scorpio, and I showed you there was no new moon in Scorpio and there was no new moon in Capricorn this year. We just went Libra, Sagittarius, Aquarius, these two feminine, no new moon, and now Mercury So this, somebody was asking me, but Lavette does brilliant videos about this from 5-6 years ago, where she explains very clearly that when the sun fell under the horizon at the end of the Aztec reign, so this is Mexico flag is what? It's the eagle, when Scorpio was an eagle, that carries the snake of wisdom. And when the sun fell at that age under the horizon, that was when the eagle fell as a scorpion, and the sun went from Libra, Adam, to be with Eve. So we've had, all this time, we've had the sun under the horizon, and now we're rising back up. We're leaving Virgo. Virgo rises above the DC, and she will rise onto the back of Leo as the whore of Babylon, with the 7 heads as the 7 signs above the horizon. And we should rise again as this eagle, and that is the 33 Freemasonry degree with the phoenix, the bird, risen up, and that is the whale's tail. I'm going to be showing you all the pictures, but I'm just trying to get through this, and then I can show you everything that I've been doing. So now 26, so that was very important, because that is the rising of Scorpio, the merging. We're right at the end, we're moving, we're ending the last Chiron was discovered in 1977, and now Chiron is at the last degree of Pisces, about to go back into Aries. He's already retrograded back from Aries. So all the mainstream are saying that Neptune is in Aries at 0 degree, but it's Chiron that's coming back. So we're at the last mutable age ending. We've got this image. We're at the last mutable age. We've had the Sagittarius open the wheel, then Virgo, then Gemini, and now we're at the last. We're coming back to the horizon now. Okay, so Mercury, and here is Mercury. So February the 17th, when I last spoke to you, we had the new moon in Aquarius coming up, and then we had, this was the fertility festival of Romulus and Remus. It's to create the new Rome, the new Nile, and we've got Lucy coming in, and we had 3 flood storms in France called Neil, Oriane, and Pedro, which is P.O.N, which is the pont. The pont is the peacock. The pont is the bridge from one age to the other. And the pont, I just whizzed to a post that I did on the 18th of February. So we had Storm Pedro, Oriana, and Niels, which is P.O.N, which is the passive optical network. This is Lucifer's sigil. So just as you see, this is the William Telltale. This is the bow and arrow. This is your sigil at the back of your brain, which is this moment where we pass through the king's chamber of the pyramid. This full moon is in Leo, the Sphinx, opposite Aquarius, Giza. And now we've got Aquarius on the horizon. At the time in Babylon, when they created the Sphinx, it was Babylon on the horizon, Leo on the horizon. We've done a full flip. So the passive optical splitter, P.O.N, is the bridge. And this is Lucifer's sigil. This is this gap. This is the absolute moment as we have this total lunar eclipse right where the Michelangelo, the 2 fingers, they touch, which is in your brain. It is right here. So I just have to try and keep cool about all this, because I'm so tired. I've been doing posts all weekend, and this is the big moment. I have to bring this all to you. And there's so much, but it's so simple. The 3rd of March, the 33 vertèbres, the green tree is the Nile, the line. What is a pont in 5 minutes? So this is your V for victory. This is the 13th cranial. This is your B, I RAN. I RAN. Your brain is just an I RAN without the B. It's just, that's the life of Brian. So, and Mary Ryan is the AMYGDALA, the Mary Magdalene. That's why my great-grandmother is in the National Portrait Gallery as Tennessee's the May Queen, the five-pointed star. And that's why my village is the five-pointed star. And what do we have? We have got, I'll show you in a minute. So there's my village, the five-pointed star, the labyrinth, and we have got members from my village that have gone on the Paris-Dakar, which is a famous car race from France to Morocco, because Morocco is the five-pointed star. Okay, so we had, you see, Niels, Orient, and Pedro. That's P.O.N. 3 storms in a row. Pan, that's Pan, Mr. Tumnus. This is Pan, P.O.N, P.O.N. It's a peacock, P.O.N, and P.O.N is a bridge. So you've got Pan, P.O.N, P.O.N. This is a little Mercury going over the Vesica Piscis. So P.O.N means unisex, passive optical network. So that was my work I was doing in, and you see it was coming across France from the 33rd degree. And that was the last video I did. So I went in all, I had 5 days of no electricity. Yeah, all that happened. I can't remember if it was before my last video or after. I think it was after. Yeah, we were really in the dark. We had 3 days of no electricity, and then I had with Mercury, the day Mercury went retrograde. I thought Mercury went retrograde on the 3rd, and I was taken by surprise. This time last week, Mercury began stationary, and I just had orange just cut me off. So the 20th of February is your catch 22, your Venus flycatch. That is the famous film. We're at the catch 22, and there is Sagittarius and Gemini, the rulers of the current summer winter solstice, and it should now become Scorpio and Taurus. And they've already got rid of the moon goddess, of Diana, the moon goddess Venus, and we officially have no cows in the salon. Okay, so let's carry on. So that was during the storms. And then we had the great conjunction on the 20th, catch 22. And now Saturn is moving on. And we're going to have to wait another 39 years. It's 36, 39 with the retrogrades. And you can feel it. You can feel that we're moving into this new dimension. That is the sword in the stone. This is the Cairo. This is the Cairo. This is Canada, Russia. This is the Cairo passage. So now the next build up is Mercury's next retrograde, which is going to be in June. And that is Prince William's. This is Will I Am, Telltale, Save Willie. And the next Mercury is going to be in Gemini. So we won't have had, this has been just in feminine signs. Mercury's been retrograde since the Paris Olympics. And now they can bring up their Lion. So we're going to have this full moon in Leo. Full moon in Leo. 3-3, there is the sun, right on the pouring water, as Mars is right on Fomalhaut, the true third eye. Mars, the ruler of Aries, where Chiron is just about to re-enter. Have a look at the charts. So where's Chiron? Chiron is right. He's right on that last degree, 29. He's right about to come back into Aries as Mars, the ruler, is right on the thalamus, the third eye. So little Mercury in that Vesica Piscis. And we had for the Iran, we had Venus and Mercury conjunct right in that Vesica Piscis. That's why it was so important. And it was the 31, which is the 13, which is the Brian brain. It's your apple, your POMME D'API. So it's not ended with Mercury. He's going to go always. He's just going over. He's just going. Then he's going to be conjunct Mars. And then we're going to have the new moon on the 18th. And Jupiter is moving forward on the 10th of March. And then we're going to have everybody forward after that. No, we will have Mercury retrograde. So Mercury is the partner in crime with Jupiter. Mercury and Jupiter rule the mutable cross, and Jupiter is in the home of Mercury. So Jupiter, this is for him, this is him taking the Vesica Piscis as he sits on Sirius in the home. This is, I always say, this is Scooby-Doo. This is Shaggy, Jupiter, and Scooby-Doo, the dog. That's why they're always in their Volkswagen with their peace, the peace sign, the upside down peace sign. Okay, so the next Mercury retrogrades. Where's Mercury? There he is going to be right over Sirius. So everything is just about this countdown from Prince William's birthday, from the summer solstice. There we go. And Mercury begins his retrograde right on that summer solstice. Right on the summer solstice. Okay, so let's come back and look. So there we have the capstone. I mean, never has there been a timing as this. Pluto, Uranus. Uranus is going to move on now. We've had all these years of the Ukraine and the Putin wars showing us the new cross, that we're coming onto the new cross, the horizon, your two breasts, and the CRAN. And now we're at in your head at the cranberries. She died at 46, your 46 chromosomes, when I'm 64. And now we've got the perfect capstone. Only Jupiter and Mercury, the rulers of the mutable cross, are both retrogrades. And now Jupiter will be moving forward. But, you know, we've got Chiron right about to start the new cycle. It's ending. This is the last Cairo. And we've got North Node, obviously, right there as well on Formerholt, conjunct to Mars, and on Regulus, the South Node, that moon. So you can't, and all the planets lined up, So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. I mean, this is very much the whore of Babylon and her 7 heads above the horizon as well. Okay, so let's look at some posts because I've just got so much to explain. The Stargates. So let's go right. So these, I shared that. So this is my village, and here we've got the Gascon in the deserts. From my village, the 5-pointed star, because this is it, the Paris-Dakar. They have to be right now in Morocco, going off to Morocco. So Stargate. The Stargate is the Vesica Piscis from Pisces back to Aquarius, that Mercury's retro over and all the planets are aligned for this full blood lunar eclipse on March the 3rd in Leo, 33 vertebrae. So they say there are 12 main planetary stargates. Stargate 10 is on the border of Abadan, Iran, and Basra, Iraq. Is one of the most important stargates on Earth. So the 13th Stargate is Mo's cow. It's in Russia. It is also the location of the ancient Mesopotamian Sumeria and the biblical Garden of Eden. So this is it. This is the Scorpio and Libra rising. This is where you should rise that phoenix of the 33 degrees of the masonry. This is where Scorpio becomes the eagle again that was invaded 10,000 years ago. So that's all that rubbish is when the sun fell under the horizon, and now the sun is rising back up again. Because all that is just, so these are all the little videos that I've been doing for Instagram, Pierre, Paul and Jack, but I can show you. So what's going on yesterday? We've got these guys speaking in Welsh for St. David's Day, which is the Stargate. It is the David Star, the Star of David. And there we go, from the mutable cross through the dragon onto the fixed cross, through the gulge to get your fifth element, your heads. So they're both speaking perfectly in Welsh. So B13 and your RIAN, Brian, your cranberries, UK rain, your cran skull, IRAN is your brain, AI, GIZA or GAZA. So same thing. Brian and brain is just the AI, IA that change around. Just like GIZA and GAZA, it's just the IA. So your 13th cranial is your AMYGDALA Mary Ryan Magdalene is the 5-pointed star in your head. It's the flesh of Cupids that takes your POMME D'API, your ABBE Pierre, JC, Jack de Compostelle is the 13th cranial as we pass through the Vesica Piscis, Mercury retrograde between Pisces and Aquarius. The Vesica Piscis is a type of lens, a mathematical shape formed by the intersection of the two discs with the same radius. Here we go. Prince of Wales, 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 Will.I.am, Telltale Splash, La Baleine, North Polaris Passage through St. David's Day, Welsh is Gaul, Gallois. So you have the Charles de Gaulle, Prince of Wales. The Gaul is Wales. Is the Gaulois. You've got the Celts and the Gaulois. As we pass through the dragon, through the mutable age. So that was the front page of the newspapers yesterday. Don't forget that Trump and the Israeli president, they set off the Falcon 9 that just took off the other day. I said in my last video, they sent that girl Sophia into outer space in Falcon 9. And when it was first launched in either 2016, I think it was 2020, one or the other, at exactly 3:22 in the afternoon, which is the postcode of my village, because that is the equinox and that is where Mercury is retrograde. And that's why I always say that my village, the lakes, is the Narnia. This is the book of Narnia. This is, it all happens. That's why an Englishman in my village died the day the Queen died, called Andrew. Mars was on Aldebaran the day the Queen died, and a week later, I couldn't believe it, the only family he had in the world was his niece and nephew, like Polly and Diggory in The Magician's Nephew, and they turned up because that was all the family he had. I mean, sometimes I just have to pinch myself because everything is, you know, it's all connected. And there we've got in the middle, this is just the Vesica Piscis, Isis, Osiris and Horus. This is the Milky Way. This is the moment where the new Nile, your spine, is created. And that is exactly where it happens. When the head and the spine meets is where this full lunar eclipse is happening. So ELLE, you've got your 33 and your 77. So what's that? The 33 is the spine and the 77 are the two corners at the back of your brain, and the 77 makes 777. And that's what we've got at the moment. We've got the capstone, Saturn and Neptune conjunct, with Uranus and Pluto on the feminine cross between earth and water, as this full moon is on the masculine axis. So we've got fire, air, earth and water. We have the total completion. You know, forgive yourselves however you're feeling right now. This is it. This is it. This is why we all came to earth, for this right now. Pierre, Paul, 69, Yin Yang. I'll show you in a minute. They released 14 penguins at Saint-Jean-de-Luz, and Jack, your spine. It's when the two sides of the brain meet with the spine. So this was me on the 28th when this guy died, showing Mercury and Venus completely in the Vesica Piscis. And I said the Cairo, that was before I knew. And look, that's right there. Canada, Russia. What does King Charles call himself? Charles Rex. CR. Mercury, Mexico, the sword in the stone, your Epstein, as we go through St. Andrew's cross, from Pisces back onto the fixed cross, the cranberries, it's your IRAN. It looks just like the Isle of Wight. It's the same shape. It looks just like, so, and it also looks like the hats and the snake. So this is the Philosopher's Stone. This is where the snake closes, and there you've got the elephant. So a couple of days just after the Neptune-Saturn conjunction, I have a little elephant by my front door, and it lost its trunk. So the elephant represents, the trunk represents the fifth elements. The elephant is in the back of your brain. It's the gnome. And there's the snake. And the hat, it's your head. They're showing you it's the heads. The life of Brian, he shows you the head and the spine coming up through the throat and the passage. Same thing in the Saving Private Ryan. They show you the passage. The three brains, that's why at the beginning they show you Trump, Israeli and the Iranian, the three of them, and there it is. The 13 is the B for your B RIAN. We are at the sword in the stone. They've got rid of Taurus. There's no more cows. They want us straight on to Leo, Aquarius. They do not want the feminine axis here. They want they don't want, Jupiter wants to keep control with Gemini. Mercury is now part of air and earth, but Jupiter has no role. So Sirius the Great, keeper of the four corners, this is where we are. Sirius, the eagle rising, and you find your fifth element. There is Mary Ryan, the AMYGDALA in your Brian Rain brain, my great-grandmother, with the upside down pentagram and showing the imposter. And that's what Jim Carrey is showing you at the Caesars. Everyone's freaking out. It's an imposter. There he is, going through this Vesica Piscis. Venus makes the whale's tail, and Venus was right next to Mercury. Venus, the ruler of Taurus, but also the ruler of Libra. So this is the Philosopher's Stone, the spirit, mind and body, and we're at the end of that snake. So this is your your apple in the Taurus torso field, the five-pointed star, and Venus every 8 years makes that five-pointed star. The whale's tail, where Saturn and Neptune are now. This midpoint of being able to perceive reality or not. Saturn has moved on, and there is the double-headed eagle, the 33. It's tomorrow. We've even got NRI, which is not quite IRAN, but we've definitely got IRA, and we do, there's IRAN. IRAN will give me a break. IRAN. So Mexico, where we had the event, Moscow the 13th. 13th is Ophiuchus. 13 Ophiuchus the 13. So the green man, there is your Stargate as we go from Pisces to Aquarius and back. The Stargate is opened. 33 is Sirius, the blazing star. It's your Jim Carrey for the Union Jack. Pierre, Paul, Mutable, Fixed and Cardinal. St. Andrew, Patrick and George. Jack and Rose, Venus and Jupiter. And there's Jacques de Compostelle, Jim Carrey, the imposter. I've always told you he is the imposter. Jupiter. So this full moon is in Leo with the sun right in Aquarius. And there is the book in my village showing you the passage. This is the ABBE. It's just $69.96. The stone Pierre, and that's why they brought down. So we're at the Jack in the Box now. Saturn has been killed. The leader of Iran, the gangster ELLE, and we've got the Joker. And there is exactly where the greatest eclipse at zenith is. We're right there. We're right there. It's your brain. It's your stone. They removed the stone. They knocked down in my village. I'll show. There's the capstone. 7337 L. And there is the 13th. The AMYGDALA Mary Ryan. My great-grandmother was showing you in the Isle of Wight. Who was she adopted by? Juliet Cameron. That's JC. My father was also JC. 13, and she's the 13. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. It's your AMYGDALA. We leave the black and whites and we're coming onto the fixed cross. Third eye, skull, and there is your neck. You've got to get through the passage. Those are the CRAN, the cranberries, the 3. St. David's Day yesterday, the day that all that happened in Iran. This is a clip from the Cranberries song, In Your Head. They show you in the middle of St. Andrew's Cross at the passage, war begins. That's where we're at. And this is just the same children as in William Telltale, and they take the apple. He's tied to the cross. There is the AMYGDALA. I showed you Carla Bruni take off the red nose. This is Rudolf Steiner, Rudolph the red-nosed reindeer. And there she is at the cross with all the little cupids with their bow and arrows. Mercury and Venus. Mercury and Venus. That is exactly where Mercury and Venus, come back to now, right there is in our brain. We're right at the new cross. Osiris, right in the middle. It's your elephant. There's the trunk. And what happened to my elephant? To tell me. Trunk fell off. I knew it. Why the Arc de Triomphe was meant to be an elephant. There's your elephant. So Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, and there is the passage. We're going through that circle. The Stargate. So there is your number 10 Stargate. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 7, 8, 9. I don't know why I said 10. And I told you my church was put as number 13 2 months ago, when you never put a number on a church. And the church is San Saturna, Saturn. So they put the number 13 and then they took it off. There we go. We're going through. Those are the three that met. She went. Madeleine, the Mary Magdalene. She's gone. That's been programming for all these years to tell you. And that was an old picture I added. I was going through because I've been showing you. We've been leading up to this. Mad is the dam, The high priestess with the apple. And there is the amygdala, the Christ stone, the egg. And that's the name of my village. Aignan is the egg of Inanna. It is that horizon point where Inanna goes into the underworlds. And this is the passage, the O, the egg, to go through the middle. It's what we're going through. In the middle, amygdala. So they get rid of your amygdala, but they leave you with Adam's apple. No more head. You need your fifth elements. But the liberty pole. You put your little red hat on. So this is my department, the 30 seconds. This is this passage right now in your brain. This is the full moon tomorrow. It's on Regulus. And the sun, Mars is on Fomalhaut. So they've got Mars, they've got their rah-rah. And this is Lucifer's sigil. The light can come through. This is what's happening. And that is that famous, the Garden of Earthly Delights. They show you the passage. It's always the passage. That's why in the Olympics, Charlotte Dujardin's horse was banned from the Olympics. Doing passage. It's the passage. There is the labyrinth, Incy Wincy Spider on my church, on the drain pipe. And there is the house that they've knocked down to make the passage with all 14 pieces of Osiris. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Showing you the mutable cross. And they've got the name of Vivaldi written up here for the 4 seasons, the 4 corners. There we go. So in Saint-Jean-de-Luz, in the Pays Basque, the BAB, the Babylon, the 13 is LEBAB, LEBEE, it's le B, the B. Beauty is in the eye of the B. My surname, LEBEE, is LEBAB, and the Pays Basque is the BAB. Biarritz. That's why Diana was killed at the Ritz, because there's no B. This is the Biarritz. Anglet. Bayonne is the BAB. And they let go of 14 little penguins, 14 maquereaux, all for one and one for all, black and white, gone into the sea. So this is the Jim Carrey. JC, C3 is 13, the 13th Cranial is LEBEE, 13, LEBEE is the heart to head, 88 HH, we're closing the 88 constellations. That's why you've got in Back to the Future, you've got on that line, and you've got the professor holding up the Orion. The philosopher's epi, so the B13 holdeth the philosopher's epi, Epstein, sword in the stone, Stein, pale Stein, stone. This is the Cairo. Jim is JM, Jim, jazz in Marciac. So that's why where I live, they have the biggest jazz festival in the world. Jim. So you see, we're going to have a full blood. That is Lucifer's sigil. Jim. Jazz in Marciac. And so this year's festival, 2026, Jazz in Marciac. So it's the biggest jazz, and it's called Jim. Let's see the images so we can see what year what number festival it is. 33rd, oh, give me a break. No, that was in 2010. So, 2000, Jazz in Marciac Festival, numéro, 5 days ago. So it's from the 20th of July to the 5th of August. And do they tell us what number? Okay, so it's the 48th, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 48th edition. So it's a massive, and it's right in the heart. It's in Marciac. So Marciac is Mars. Marciac postcodes is 32230. So I'm 32290 and they are 322. So it's always showing you it's that equinox. Okay, well look, I'm not going to go over all that, but it's all the same thing. I'm going to put that in Vesica Piscis, the baleine. The baleine is the whale. The skull and bone, blah, blah. Mick Jagger, his girlfriend was 37. Okay. Mr. Bean, Green Man. So I will add all that text. So remember, Sirius. And I've been saying to you that this passage of Mercury in the water signs was really exactly like in the Truman Show when he's going through that storm. He's going through that storm. And he comes out, they're going to give you the hero for the summer equinox. So we've got ELLE, that's 37. 37, it's Saturn. So that was, this is all the Jim Carrey in the Caesars. So right as Jupiter is there, Jim. So that is your Jim. It's your Jim. You've got JC, the 13, Jim, Sirius, the keeper of the four corners. The moon was in Cancer. Jack and the beanstalk. This is where Jack is your Jack. You're lighting up your Jack in the box. This is your third eye. There is the Vesica Piscis. This is what we're going through. Tomorrow is the 33. This is your green man. Mexico. Jazz in Marciac. So where I live, I've got an old post here. So there's the church. Puss in Boots takes the egg. There's the labyrinth. There's D'Artagnan who kills. And you see at the top, this is Aveyron-Bergerac. Okay, that doesn't show us. But this village just here at the top is called ABBE. So ABBE, Aveyron-Bergerac is the Abbé Pierre. That's the book. The book written in my village is the Abbé. So there we go. Abbé, Aveyron-Bergerac, ABBE. It's your Abbé Pierre. So the Pierre, the philosopher's stone. That image I showed you where they knocked the building down, they pulled out a stone, which is the cirrus. You see his 2 feet. It's the Orion. It's showing. And my friend took a picture, but they've taken it away. So Appy, Appy. That's why they killed my dog Happy on Easter Day when Mars was on Aldebaran. And they held him for 2 days, just as they killed the cows, because I jumped the gun and saw that, you know, they induced him with an epileptic fit, but I picked up on it straight away because they practiced on my other dog first. And this is why we had all the flooding. This is the flooding. That's why we had all the flooding first. They're showing you the new Nile, the new line, the new sword in the stone. There's my dog Appy that was killed. Appy. So this is it. This is it. We're right in this touching. We're right on the prime meridian. The egg. It's the cosmic egg, and there's the phoenix, and my village is Aignan. So whenever I'm telling you all this, I'm always thinking what's going to happen to me. But you know, if anything happens, you know the story. So that's what was on the front page of the newspapers. We had The egg was killed. The man in the middle, we have Trump and the Israeli, and the egg, he's gone. That's the O. The egg is the passage through the Vesica Piscis. It's in your brain. There is the egg. It's the Anki. We had this last year in England. There's the Eggman. The Venus figure symbolizes the pineal gland. We've got Venus and Mercury together. They are now the rulers. Venus and Mercury with Saturn rule earth and air. There's no more sun. There's no more moon. There's no more Jupiter. There's no more Mars. So the bee, LEBEE, LEBEE. The bee is the fleur de lis, the cosmic egg. And that's why where I live that we have the hatchery, and they put on the first Saturn and Neptune conjunction, and then they went backwards and back again for this one we just had on the 14th of July 2025. They brought in a 4.8 million pound robot to kill all the female eggs. And there she is. The original 13th is the girl who rises out, and this is the dream I had before I bought this house, and I was holding the two snakes. And that is it. This is what's happening right now. She's coming out the egg. This is the 13th sign. This is it. The original symbol and constellation of Fucus was a woman wrestling with a giant serpent. The symbol used in the medical field today, the Cadeus, belongs to the constellation of Ophiuchus, the serpent bearer. The energy of the snake is used as a symbol of healing throughout many cultures. So it moved. We've been on Sagittarius. Now we're coming back to Scorpio, but you've got to get through her. And they've put the green man there. They've put the green man. So this is the middle line. They show you. And that's why they said he went from left-handed to right-handed. They say the Jim Carrey, left, right-handed. It's just the two sides of the Polaris, and the North Star in the middle is the five-pointed star. And that's why my great-grandmother was the May Queen. You are the key. My village, 322, was at that point of the skull and bones. There is the five-pointed star, and there is your Cupids. Your sulfur, salt, and mercury. There's Carla Bruni taking off your amygdala. So this was Jack and Black Venus. This was all this summer. We've been building. There he is, Orion in the middle. Venus flytrap. Your Madeleine. Jacques de Compostelle is the Venus shell. And there is the five-pointed star. You've got to light your torch now. Okay, we don't need to go. There is the true star is Aquarius. Inanna, the weaver. Lupercalia. The twins, Cupids. It's all happening right now, and that was in my village. The 7/7/2025, 4.8 million innovate promised to prevent Ethusia. So instead of killing all the little baby ducks, the hatchery in Inanna, in my village, the egg, they have a machine that prevents crushing the female ducklings. So they kill them before. Now they're killed in the egg. It's a huge robot, and I can hear that robot. Ooh, it's So today we're the 3-2, the top of the tree of life, the story of O. We have to go through that egg to get onto the fixed cross. So, and there is amazing, and there is the building. They've had this building down, and they put in front the big Jim, to show us it was Jupiter and Mercury. And there is Mary Ryan. at Biarritz, the Babylon. This is the Bab-al-On, Babylon the Great, the Virgin and the Whore. Okay. So I'm just showing you a lot of these pictures because it's just so important. So this is Orion, this is the lion, we've got the full moon in Leo coming through that cross. You cannot be serious. What's his name? John McEnroe, JM. Right. ELLE. Olam, and Abraham planted a grove in Beersheba and called thereon the name of the Lord, the everlasting God. Well, they killed him in Mexico. And there he is. I wonder how many stairs there are. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 14, 15, 16. Okay. And there's your green lion. This is the alchemy. There is the lion. The heart to head connection, and your Merlion, Virgo on the lion, and there is your Stargates. It's a green mile. Cairo, we're at the last Chiron passage. It's the sword in the stone. Your little Jack Horner in the corner, Jacques de Compostelle with the star of Venus. Mr. Bean is Jack on the beanstalk and his girlfriend who is 37. Right. That last leg, that corner is the last L. The last L, it's the path of Jacques de Compostelle. And there is the keeper of the four corners, Sirius, and this is the stone that was taken out under the ground underneath this house that they pulled down. We've got just the 2 feet left. They've cut the stone in half, and my friend took a picture and I have showed you in other videos. And there's JM, Jim Morrison, the doors in the gap. Got to get past, and those are the very 2 snakes that I was holding. It's a friend who's done this painting on Facebook, and I took the painting, and I mean, look at that, from black and white to colour. He's got it all, put it all there subconsciously. It's your apple. This is the apple. This is the prism. Okay. I think we're at the end of the pictures. Yep. This was an old post from last year. Pale ale stein is a beer and Einstein is a stone, because Israel and Pal al Stein is the same story. It's your Solomon, sun moon merging to find your Stein third eye or turn to stone. Free pale ale Palala Stein means free the genie from the lamb. Okay, you can go through all that. Einstein, pale ale, and 99. So just before all this happened, Jim Carrey and then Iran, they have a story in the newspapers in France about a man, a man who's called PP, and PP is always 99, and he was accused of killing somebody driving drunk, and that was when Mars was on Aldebaran, when I was in the floods in New Zealand, and now he is just having his prison case coming up. But I knew when the 99 Einsteinium, the 99 was showing that's where we were. So that middle point, what did they just kill? They killed the critical points. That picture on the front of the newspapers. That picture on the front of the newspapers, they kill the critical points in the middle. Comprehension. It's the middle point. It's yesterday, St. David's Day. It's the middle, it's your bulb, it's your life force, it's ELLE. Who did they kill? In Mexico, they killed ELLE. Israel, it's Osiris. They've killed the cow. They've killed the middle class. You've just got the boy with the apple on the heads, but they've taken the apple away and there's just the boy, Mercury. So that's Inanna holding the two snakes that I dreamt of. She's showing you her eyes on, her 4 eyes on. She's showing you the horizon, and when she joins back the snake, we get the spine. So this is it. We've got the 2 and we've got that middle line, but they've taken away the red blue pill and we've just got this new green man, this new you know, the whole agenda 30 that we're coming into now is green. It's the peace. That Venus is Lucifer with Mercury, but Venus in Libra with Virgo. So Venus and Mars becoming Pan. This is what I showed you, the storms we had, P.O.N. It's POMME, Pan. Okay, so I'm still going through the Einstein pics, right? Okay, let's carry on. So we had at the same time 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They show 6 planets. These are all the flash readings I've been doing. This is an old post, 2025. Oh, it's about Noahide law. I was explaining Noahide law. We're not going to get into that now. Okay. So news out this morning, 23rd of February. Violence erupts in Mexico after drug lord ELLE, 37, is Saturn. Mencho killed. Mexico is the pont. It's the pont. It's the bridge. And we had those 3 storms, Pedro, Orion, and Nils. So the passive optical network, Lucifer Sigil, and Mexico is between North and South America. It is the passage over the Vesica Piscis. So that was the 23rd, just after the Saturn and Neptune conjunction. And there you've got, that is the whale's tail, that is William Telltale. There's William, the green line. Here we've got the children Mercury, we've got the black sun, and we've got they're showing you the new Mercury, salt, sulfur, and Mercury, and the Narnia lamppost. William opens up. Where's Willie? Happy played to rise Notre Dame. That guy. Appy is just Abby, Pierre. Appy, the bull gods. They've killed her. I am, Will I am, Free Willy. This is the 5th that William Tell. And there is the lion that we're going to, and that is your Scooby-Doo. St. Andrew's Cross, there he is. It's your Sirius, this is your new fake piece. This is Venus and Mercury, Scooby-Doo. You've got the same little character in Scooby-Doo. You've got that girl as well. So I always think that's Prince William with his dog. And there is, they've got the moon and Mars, and they've got the sun and Venus. So they've inverted the anima and the animus. And that is what is going on now. And there is the red cape of Saint Martin de Tours, who feeds the homeless. And that is why Prince William was given. So there they go. You can hardly see. Oh, look, we can make it bigger. Wow. So look, the Dragon Falcon 9, launch time 322, That's my postcode. And what do they show you on the newspapers now? Okay, everything's gone big. They show you the 3. And that, what year was that? I'm always trying, I think it was 2020. So, you know, watch this space. Apparently Prince William's coming back to, somebody said that. I don't know if it's true. Okay. Remember the ceremony of the keys, Chiron. We know we're at the end now. We're at that passage of the Cairo. Remember all the, when just before the Pope died and the 5 doors he opened made Lucifer's sigil. And there is, so the degrees of Pisces disappears, what we lose, secret, fear, you can read all that. So it's also gangsters, Godfather, Godfather by the Godfather. It's the 2 extremes. It's the gangsters or the saints. That's all the free Paul Watson. And there is the eye of the Moby Dick. We're going through Kill Bill, AI, and that's your Lucifer sigil, the POMME. Okay. As we're going past, I just want to show you. So look at this Scorpion going into the underworld. So the horizon, Scorpio Libra, is where we go back into the underworld. So that's what my village is. That's why N, the North Polaris, my village is AIG, which is the egg, which is pronounced N, Nan, which is Nana. So this is showing you going into the underworld, the Scorpio, and look, she's got all her eggs. She's got all her eggs. And I explained Scorpio, the aigle, so in French an eagle is AIGLE, fell into the underworld as the sun falls under the horizon in Libra. So that's 10,000 years ago when the Stargate was discovered in Iran. In Libra, and Lilith was banned from the Garden of Eden. Libra, the scales of the serpent, is carried by the eagle, aigle. Mexico is the merging and rising of the eagle again. That's why they say L37 LL is the Vesica Piscis passage where Mercury is retro now between Pisces and Aquarius. Egg was killed in Mexico. Our village, Enyon, is the egg of Inanna. Enyon, where Scorpio becomes the eagle again. So what do we have in our village? We have the hatchery, my little village, a 4.8 million machine to kill the females. My family signet ring that I never wear, is the eagle holding the snake. It's the eagle holding the snake when it should rise again to carry the snake. Is it recording? Yes. Okay. So then we had Andrew, and I just posted old posts because I've been talking about it for donkey yonkies. The Ep sword is the sewn stein, is when you Ep have an epiphany. Okay, Epi. So there they've got what she called. She's called V. She's called Virginia. She's VC or something. And it's just the same thing, you know, we've been building up to this for so long. So I've been talking about that cranberries image for years. Okay, we're not going to go through all that. That was I did that post this summer. The Epi, the Epstein. Okay, just trying to go back to see important posts. Langage dealer, so that's the green line, the Nazar. We had the conjunction. Regarding St. Andrew's mutable cross, it's just more Narnia, Andrew, they are fighting. Had the great eclipse, and now we're going through when was that? 6/11/2025. So we had that guy, he's called Andrew Cross, who was killed. We've got the Paris, Texas. He's got his red hat on, which is Mars. Andrew Cross, who created mites from electricity, and that's what chemtrails are, and that's what chemtrails do. On the blue sky, the white crosses, it's the St. Andrew's cross. Look, they got the Mars, the Harry between the two, and we've got Mars, and there is the 88 miles per hour. This is between Gemini and Taurus. We've got Orion, Andrew Cross, who created the electromites. That was 6/11 when we had Jupiter right on Orion. So Andrew Cross, 36, died, and they show the same. There's the Eiffel Tower, Paris, Texas. And there is the passage. Right. Okay, so we're nearly back to the last video. Lot and Garon, Liberty and Glory, Lord Gruffalo, LG, GL, L is 12, which makes 3, and G is 7, 37, 73. So I was forgetting that in the last video, but it's always the same thing. Those are the storms we had. So I can't remember, but I think that it was after that I lost. Yeah, we lost. Was it before or after? So we got the Babylon, the Bab, Lot and Garon, and there is the Lot. I think we saw all this in the last. And there is the NASA snake, the tongue of Bordeaux, 33. So that is it. It's the closing of the snake. Get to the 33 degrees. That's where we are. So that is showing you the POMME. It's showing you that optic fiber Lucifer sigil. It's showing you Lucifer sigil, and that is the full moon that we got happening tomorrow. That image. That we saw. So Flo is the wolf. Okay, so we're really at that catch-22. 18th of February, why was I posting that? So again, this is LEBEE. Where is your heart? Leb, the inner person, emotions, mind, will, bowels, Hebrew, LEBAB, synonym, similar meaning, both the heart and the head. It's the heart to head. Boeing 777. What am I talking about here? What's this? 21 to get her. 8th of December 2025. Why is this here? Okay, let's not get confused with that. And then that takes us back. Okay, darlings, well, basically, this is it. This is where the two corners of your head meet with the spine. This is absolutely the bow of William Telltale. Is it going to take away? Are you going to have fear? Fear is when you have a pale stein, and if it's healthy, you've got blood running through, you've got your rose red, you've got your apple, you've got your 5-pointed star on top of your spine, the Christmas tree, the vert arbre. So this is it. This is Jupiter. He's working with that north node and with that south node. He thinks he's the king here on Sirius, and he is in the home of Mercury, and he knows that Mercury's doing the work for him. He knows, as I said, the Saturn and Jupiter conjunction since 1981 are in Earth signs. 1981 in Virgo, 2020 in Taurus. That's why they had to kill Diana just before. and 2020 for COVID in the home of Saturn to kill Saturn. So everybody hates Saturn, to kill Bill, to kill the government. You've got to pay your bill to get through the gates. And now we're officially back to Earth, back to black, and Jupiter's got no place there, so he uses Mercury to be the Black Prince. The Black Prince. So he's doing his retrograde now between Pisces and Aquarius. His last retrograde was here to rise the Phoenix. The one before was just in Cancer. The one before last year was in Pisces. For rising Notre Dame, it was in Scorpio. And for the Olympics, it was right here. So basically, from the Olympics to now, Paris, Jim Carrey, showing you the imposter of Foucault stands in Paris, Texas. You know, this is it. This is where Paris becomes the new imposter we've got right now. So Mercury is right opposite where he was for the Paris Olympics. He retrograded here for the Paris Olympics and now here. So this is truly the most eye-opening, the most evolved state you can possibly be at. This is what all literature, this is what Narnia was written about. They're all there. They're all at the lamppost, and Chiron is about to complete that cycle, which is the last Chi-Rho, which is that midpoint of the Lucifer sigil to perceive between the two worlds, to be able to be that 13th sign, which is the middle cranial, which is your ability to leave the circus, to leave the wheel, to be completely above anything, and to, you know, we've got to adapt to the times. The people who are still stuck in the old ways and the old world are not going to move on, but you create your reality. You create your reality. Okay, darlings, I'm going to leave it there. There's still a 20% discount going on which I will add so you remember the code. That ends the 20th. And please come for readings. That's how I make a living. And I look forward to seeing you. And if you want to come and join us on Patreon, that would be great. I'm going to launch, I've just done 20 free readings. I said there were going to be 5-minute flash, but of course I ended up doing 30-minute readings for everybody, and I ended up doing written feedbacks for everybody. So I ended up doing a lot of work, which gave me a few more people who've joined Patreon. And I'm going to do a new challenge for this month. You can see that on Instagram and Facebook. And I love you very much, my darlings, and just stay really cool, because this is it's just such an exciting time. But it is a kind of nostalgic feeling as well. I mean, you can really feel Saturn is moving away. We had a beautiful build up, and now we're all alone with Neptune, and Neptune's going to spend 15 years in Pisces, and this is where many people won't be able to, you know, they won't make it through the abyss. Okay, I love you. Bye for now.